This drive around the league is brought to you by your Greater Washington area Hyundai dealers.
Summer is here. Hurry in for epic savings on award-winning SUVs and sedans at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR and make no payments for 90 days on the Tucson, or get $2,750 in savings. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Grant Paulsen there, Danny Rouhier here. It's time for your weekly Nationals conversation. GP, we're recording this Monday morning after the Nats dropped 2-3 to the Yankees. Without Juan Soto, Steven Strasburg gets scratched. A team that's a World Series contender, you don't feel terrible about that, but the way it happened left an empty feeling. Feel like the Nats should have gotten 2 out of 3, huh?
Yeah, definitely. They had a really good chance with Patrick Corbin on the mound on Sunday, throwing as well as he did, to have taken that series. And in this sprint where you've now played one weekend's worth of baseball and it's 5% of your season, over 60 games, each of these games just matters more than they used to. So that does sting. I got to be honest, for me, it's odd because I find myself wanting to be frustrated and live and die with every moment and every decision. And I also am just still happy that we have baseball back right now. And so it's hard for me to work myself into a lather and be all that angry. But specific to the game, the newcomers did not help, right? So you had in the bullpen, Will Harris give up a home run that was critical in their bullpen, not protecting a lead. You had Eric Thames and Starlin Castro strike out in a big spot. Emilio Bonifacio's egregious blunder on base, going from second to third when he didn't need to in the ninth inning and oversliding the bag and being thrown out. All those guys hurt them, didn't help them as much as you'd like late in the game. So they've got some things to iron out. The bullpen's got to build up some arm strength because it didn't look good for Doolittle either. But I'm not overly worried. The Yankees are really good, and they should have taken 2 out of 3 in a series without Soto or Strasburg.
So you mentioned that. I mean, to me, the bullpen is going to be so paramount for every team, for not just the Nationals, but for any team in this sprint. And if anything's not working as it should, which is understandable, you had 4 months off. This is unusual. This pandemic, that's cast everything into craziness. Doolittle didn't look terribly sharp, as you kind of mentioned. You don't want to overuse somebody, but you got to build up the strength. And you'll look up and go, hey, a third of the season is done, right? Because of how short this sprint is. The bullpen, I think, is going to be the thing for the Nationals. And it seems like we do this theme every year, but I think this year, especially in a shortened season, the bullpens are going to be tantamount to success.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And I'm a little bit concerned just because, again, of the lack of time to build up the arm strength. I don't know about you, but the stuff from Doolittle was a little bit better than last time we saw him in exhibition play. But, you got a newcomer coming over from Houston who was really good for a couple of years, and that was very hittable. So I know he had thrown the day before in the pen and didn't get into the game, and it was a lot like throwing in 2 straight games, and that's not something these guys have necessarily done yet. So that could be part of it. But there's just not a lot of wiggle room here in terms of getting off to a quick start. Now, the benefit is by expanding the playoff field from 10 to 16, 8 teams get in. So there's not as much of an urgency or a live and die with every day as there may have been, which, could be either good or bad depending on how you view it. But, yeah, I'm with you. The bullpen's going to be critical. Things I loved, get into a couple positives, and I want to get your thoughts. I thought Victor Robles had great at-bats, almost single-handedly carried them in their win in the sandwich game of the series. He's going to be big. Great to see Trey Turner hit his first home run and really lock it in at the plate in Game 3 of the series. I thought that was significant. And Howie Kendrick can still barrel baseball. So there was some good as well.
Even though his, the batting average and some of the numbers aren't there yet for Kendrick through 3 games, we don't do that small of a sample size. He's barreling the ball. He's hitting it. You can see the respect he's engendered, getting intentionally walked a couple times to bring Eric Thames up. It's going to be about what Starlin Castro does. It's going to be about maybe what Thames does, especially starting against right-handed pitchers. Juan Soto will lengthen that lineup when he comes back. Should be any day now, hopefully, knock on wood. But I like those things that you touched on there. Adam Eaton given his normal slate of good at-bats as well. So that'll do it for us here. Earlier this week, I think we're doing a second Nat show, little abbreviated show such as they are, later on this week. But for Grant, I'm Danny. We'll see you next time.
This drive around the league is brought to you by your Greater Washington area Hyundai dealers.
Summer is here. Hurry in for epic savings on award-winning SUVs and sedans at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR and make no payments for 90 days on the Tucson, or get $2,750 in savings. Visit buyhyundai.com today.